Thank you for joining me today on Good News with Twanda Black, where we're discovering some of the most inspiring trials to triumph stories and empowerment moments. Call up a friend and let them know it's time for some good news. Welcome to Good News with Twanda Black. I am your host, and this is a program where we talk to folks from all walks of life about their good news, because ultimately, if your brothers and sisters are doing well, we are doing well. We're celebrating you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this next guest. Joining us today is Dr. Lori Mann. She's an award-winning business coach, marketing expert, sales trainer. She works with purpose-driven entrepreneurs and small businesses, helping them elevate their brands and so much more. How are you, Dr. Lori?
I am excellent, Twanda. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You've been at this thing for a long time, long as I've known you, for sure, like 20 something years, probably 30 years. But how long have you been doing this business?
I have been the president of QualityMediaConsultants.com for 16 years next month. Woo-hoo!
Awesome. Celebration time. Yes. So how did you get into this industry of helping small businesses be great businesses, basically?
Well, thank you. I actually started my company a month after I had been downsized from my corporate job. And I was in corporate America working in radio, as you know, and I had done that for nearly 20 years and was a salesperson, account manager, and sold radio, events, digital streaming, and all that good stuff. And my company went through a downsizing, and I was included in that, and decided that I didn't want to work for anyone else anymore. And I wanted to chart my own path. And so 30 days later, I said, you know what? I'm just going to try this entrepreneurship thing. I was scared out of my mind, but I did it anyway. I took the leap and I did it anyway.
That's right. Yes. So Quality Media Consultants was born. And so talk about some of the issues that small businesses have that are doable, that are fixable, you know?
Well, there's so many. I would say one of the issues that small businesses have when they get started is trying to spread themselves too thin. And, you know, there's a saying, I'm not sure who said it, you know, you can please some of the people some of the time, and all the people some of the time, but not everybody all the time. Right. So you can't target everybody in the marketplace. You can't try to serve everybody in the marketplace. So I kind of take a bite off of that saying, even though I kind of paraphrased it. But the essential theme and the message is you cannot try to target everyone in business, because no matter what it is that you're selling, not everyone is going to want to buy it, and not everyone is going to be a perfect fit for it. And so you have to really decide who is your perfect customer, who is your most ideal customer, and how can you put together products and services that really meet a need, solve a problem, or inspire desire for those people. And so that is something I think that a lot of entrepreneurs and small businesses do. They try to grow too fast and they try to spread themselves too thin by trying to sell and reach everyone.
And it's going to be an impossibility. Absolutely. In this present economy, under this president, do you think small businesses will thrive? And if so, what are some of the things that they need to do to thrive in this economy?
Well, I feel like entrepreneurship and small business ownership is something where you have to create your own economy. And it doesn't matter who is in the White House if you live in America.
Mm.
Doesn't matter, if the economy is in a recession, really, because like I said, if you find your perfect customer and you find a group of people who need what you have to offer, they are going to make the sacrifice to buy it no matter what.
Mm.
If we go back and we look at some industries, and sometimes like in World War II, the Civil War, there are always businesses that survive and thrive during any type of recession and during any type of economic downturn. And then if you look at the businesses who go belly up and who go under, it's because maybe they didn't get ahead of the curve. And by that, I simply mean they weren't looking at the trends. They weren't looking at what is happening now in business. I think about the pandemic that started in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was under a lot of pressure for a lot of businesses. That was a lot of time where businesses, corporations, nonprofits, everybody was uncertain, right? Because the world as we knew it had shut down, and America had shut down. Businesses were shut down. Well, in that situation, a lot of companies went out of business, but there were also a lot of companies that soared.
That's right.
And they started to do really, really well. And the reason is because you look at it, what did those companies do that did well? Well, they started to shift. They started to do more online. They did more things virtually. Since the world was shutting down, they said, okay, what can we do? What can we sell where people don't have to come? And then if they do have to come here, how can we cater to them where they still feel safe? And so it's about pivoting, making adjustments and restructuring and being innovative, no matter who's in the White House, no matter whether the Republicans or Democrats have the House or Senate, it doesn't matter. Create your own economy and figure out how you can thrive no matter what the political climate is.
That's great advice. Great advice. Let's touch on your book. She Thinks Like a CEO. I love it. Talk about that book for a moment.
Yeah, so the book is a collaboration book that I did with several other entrepreneurs who happen to be African-American women in various industries. And we came together a couple years ago to talk about technology, because technology has changed so much in the last decade, and it continues to change basically every year. And so we wanted to come together to say, okay, how do we use technology to grow our businesses? And for me, it was video technology. I started to use video technology, and the game changed for me because I started to speed up that know, like, and trust factor. And when people saw videos of me, they felt like they knew me, and they also felt like I knew my stuff and I knew what I was talking about. And they got tidbits and information and nuggets and strategies from me on video, and they would try it and, email me or inbox me and say, hey, I like that video or what have you. And it just really started to help me get known a lot faster as an entrepreneur. And I got speaking gigs from it. I got clients from it. And it just started to really help me pivot my business to the next level. And
it's global. So you're worldwide. You're not just here in Atlanta.
Yeah. And that's another thing. When I say it helped me to acquire clients, it really did, because I didn't just acquire clients in America. I acquired clients in Canada and Africa and even Europe. Awesome.
Where can folks get that book?
They can get it on Amazon. Just go to Amazon and type in She Thinks Like a CEO.
I love it. Now, big event, annual event that's coming up. And I'll tell you, I learn so much from this event every year. I still have my notes from years ago. I do. I take pictures and stuff, and I still have those slides in my phone. The Trailblazer Business Summit is coming up, and talk about that. Who is it for? Who should come, and what's going to be done there?
Well, the Trailblazer Business Summit is an entrepreneur's event. Like, it's for purpose-driven entrepreneurs who are progressive, positive, and all about productivity and profitability, right? Mm-hmm. If you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a solo entrepreneur or you've got a small team, or you're a small business owner running a staff and, multi-million-dollar business, you can get something from this event because it is for you. And the reason I say that is because we have content that is for the emerging business owners just starting out. We have content for the intermediate business owner who's been in business for 5 or 10 years. And then we have something for the experienced business owner like myself, who's been at the game for more than 15 years. And all of the speakers are talking about topics that most entrepreneurs care about. And that's coming from an experienced entrepreneur like me. I gather these people together who are incredible national and international speakers to come and share nuggets of how they succeeded. And our keynote this year is Shani Godwin from Communique. And nice. She is a $1 million CEO. She has been in business for almost 20 years. And she has 6- and 7-figure contracts with some of the most recognized brands, one being Chick-fil-A. Mm-hmm. And she's grown her business over these last 2 decades tremendously. And she's going to share some very empowering nuggets with everyone there. And, so I just feel like this event is incredible because there's something for everyone. And beyond that, we're going to do guided networking. I believe in not just, throwing people together, but I believe in saying, okay, here's what I have that can help you. And at the same time, here's what I'm willing to give, and here's what I need to get. So I think networking should be about giving and getting, right? So we're going to do some guided networking. We're going to eat and we're going to have a champagne toast and celebrate everybody else's anniversaries besides mine. Because, everyone who comes has an anniversary. So we're going to celebrate being in business and, doing the best that we can to make our businesses thrive together.
What are some of the other subjects that you're going to cover?
So we're going to also have, let me look at my little notes real quick here. So we have Dr. Tanya Lowe. She just wrote a book about that one thing that you do very well and the things that you can do to leverage that in your business. Shanae Commodore, she is also a tremendous professional when it comes to government and corporate contracts. She's going to talk about that. We've got Onisha Freeman. She is a technical guru. She's a technology guru. She's going to talk about different technology strategies that you can use in your business. And we've got Marie Fraterni. She's going to talk about how to use retreats to grow your business. She has been doing retreats for 30 years and has used it as an incredible revenue stream in her business that has given her 7-figure status. We're going to talk to, we're going to hear from Audrey Bell Kearney, Adele Wong, and Belinda Enoma, and they're going to talk about the power of using artificial intelligence because artificial intelligence changes almost every week, and sometimes every day. And so they're going to talk about how they all have used artificial intelligence and digital technology to grow their business. And then we have James Durden. He is an insurance guru, and he's going to talk to us about finance. And he's a financial CEO, and he's going to talk to us about financial strategies.
That is going to be a phenomenal day. Now, talk about what time does it start? What time does it end? How can folks be involved? How can they register? Because I know folks are like, oh my God, I need to be there.
Yes, absolutely. So the website is qualitymediaconsultants.com on the events page. That's qualitymediaconsultants.com on the events page. The event is happening Saturday, April 26th from 10 a.m. to 3. We're going to take a break around 12:30 for lunch. And we're going to hit it again and go until 3 o'clock.
Yes. There's always vendors, good food, and of course, quality entrepreneurs there for you to meet. So can't wait. And you're saying it doesn't have to be small business. It can be any business that can come and participate, correct?
Yes, any business, small business, big business, medium business. And
just thinking about business.
Just thinking about business.
Yes.
You want to be an entrepreneur. You have decided that, okay, entrepreneurship is for me. You're still in corporate and maybe you decided you want to start something on the side. You need to come to this event so you can hear what successful entrepreneurs do. And you never know, you might just find your next mentor, your next coach, or your next colleague in the room, or your collaborative partner. You know, every time I go to an event like this, or if I produce an event like this, I meet so many incredible people, and it's just really a blessing because entrepreneurship is so lonely sometimes,
yes,
especially if you don't have a big team that you work with, or if you don't have a big staff that you work with. And for those people who work from home, you know, they understand what I'm talking about when I say entrepreneurship can be lonely, because you work from home, and, you know, a lot of people started doing that after the pandemic. But, you know, it's like, oh, wow, I haven't had any interaction today, you know.
With an adult.
Yeah, right. All of my interaction has been online. You know, maybe it's been on a Zoom or on a live stream or whatever, but you haven't had any face-to-face interaction. And so that's what I mean when I say it's an opportunity to get out, meet and greet people. And, you know, like I say, business happens when you're face-to-face. That's right. You know, because I have gotten so many deals signed on the spot just being face-to-face with people, as opposed to if I had been on the phone or over email, it would have taken a lot longer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What special thing are you going to teach this year? Because you always teach something. So,
well, you know, I'm going to teach. I'm up in the air, but I think I'm going to teach on sales this year, and I'm thinking about teaching on the psychology of sales.
That's a good one. That's a great
so I've taught last year I taught on soulful selling from the heart, but I think this year I'm going to incorporate a little bit of psychology, and I might do the soul and the psychology of sales.
I love it.
Really understanding the psyche of sales and the proper mindset, and, you know, the mindset you have to be in, and how you have to appeal to other people's psyche as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, you can go to qualitymediaconsultants.com for more information and find out about the Trailblazer Business Summit. All of Lori's information is there. Lori does have a nonprofit. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit or not, but I love that you have a passion for something else besides business.
Yeah, that's one of the things that has driven me. I do have a passion for giving back and helping children in my community. So I started a nonprofit, a 501c3 nonprofit called Live Healthy and Thrive Youth Foundation. And this year we're celebrating 15 years. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I started it a year after I started my for-profit. I don't recommend that, but that's what I do. We educate children about healthy lifestyle habits so that they are more likely to avoid obesity, diabetes, and hypertension. And those illnesses are pervasive in my family and in my community. And that's why I really had a passion for just seeing if I could just stop the trending of the number of children who have those issues. Because I really think if you start, you know, when they're small,
early,
and you start early teaching them and educating them about how to stay healthy, how to eat healthy, how to exercise and move their bodies, and how to eliminate stress and be mindful. I think it really makes a difference, because there's so much in the world today that can stress us out and take us out. And so many people are silently struggling with some type of illness, whether it be a mental illness or physical illness, and not knowing how to cope and not knowing how to deal with it beyond just suffering. And so I really have a passion and a heart for children, and that's why I wanted to do this work to empower, educate, and inspire children to lead healthier lives.
And she didn't mention it, but she goes to different schools and they create gardens, and it's just fascinating. And the kids are so loving it, and that is just brilliant.
Yeah. We do. We build gardens in schools. Every year we adopt a school and build a vegetable garden, and we teach children where their food comes from, and we teach them about the science of food, right? Of planting and harvesting and how to plant the food properly. And we don't do seeds, we do buds, plant buds. And so that actually lets them see a small starter plant, and then they get to harvest it 60 days later.
Wow.
And that's just one of our programs. We do a summer camp, we do a back to school program, we do a fair, we do a gala. We do a lot. We're a mighty, small but mighty team. And I'm just grateful to God that He has allowed me to continue to do that work. And we also give scholarships to high school students. This year, we're targeting and planning for our cumulative total to be $100,000 that we've given away. So far we've given away $80,000 in scholarships. And this year we're on target to give away 20 more. So
that's awesome.
Hopefully we'll get to that number.
Absolutely. Live healthy and thrive. It is a great organization. And again, Dr. Lori, thank you so much for joining us. Lori Mann's Quality Media Consultants.com is where you need to go for more information. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Twanda. It's always a pleasure.
And thank you for joining me for Good News. If you'd like to be a guest, you can contact me at goodnews@thepgnetwork.org. You can watch the program on all streaming platforms. Hey, I'll see you next time for some good news. Be blessed now.